The only thing better than the Edmonton Oilers on Saturday night is having Frankie Corrado and Craig Button join us to discuss just how good they were in Game 2. And let's begin the conversation, guys, with Leon Draisaitl, who continues to score at this ridiculous pace in the postseason. Now it's 13 in 8 games. Craig, is it just a matter of time before he breaks the record for most goals scored in a postseason held by Reggie Leach and Yari Curry?
Yes, I think so, Mark. But the question is, when is that time? That time could come as soon as this series. Forget about the last 2 series if he gets that far. He is on what we call a heater. 20 goals in his last 24 playoff games, and he looks like he's unstoppable right now. And you know, when the net looks as big as a soccer net, and you know that you can hit every part of it, that's where Leon Draisaitl finds himself at this point. And when you look at how he gets open, how he finds ways to score goals, he doesn't jam himself up. He has the great one-timer. I don't know what the answer is if you're the Vegas Golden Knights for Leon Draisaitl, because he has shown clearly in the last 2 playoffs, and certainly in this stretch of games during these playoffs, that he is a player that, as hard as you may try to stop him, he is almost next to impossible to stop.
Well, we always talk about what he does on the ice, the physical skills he possesses. But, Craig, how about the mental skills this guy possesses? There's plenty of highly skilled players playing in the playoffs right now. They're not doing what he's doing on a night-to-night basis. It really is impressive. And everyone talks about how much they want to be a factor, how much they want to be a positive for their team and dominate in the playoffs. But not everyone can do it the way Leon Draisaitl can. So there's a certain mindset that goes with that player that's really separating him from a lot of people. And that's what's really impressive. There's a lot of skill on the ice. There's a lot of skill against him. But, man, this guy can find it mentally every single night, and it's so impressive.
What a response from this team after a poor Game 1. The Oilers with, and Craig, I know you don't love to throw this out too often, but I think we can call that a statement win in Game 2. How were they able to pounce early and often in this game?
I would say the pace. When the puck dropped for the opening of the game, the Edmonton Oilers were at a high pace right from the get-go, and they were pushing the play right from their defensive zone. There's no better example of it than right early in the first period. Evan Bouchard, the puck goes up the wall, and then Evan Bouchard jumps right into the attack. This is how they played. This is how they came out to play, and they never relented. They just kept going after the Vegas Golden Knights time and time again. We know how great the power play is, but the pace of which they played at. And they didn't get stuck in their own zone. They said, we're going to move the puck forward. We're going to have our forwards push the Vegas defensemen back. And that's exactly what they did. And, you know, Mark, one of the big things through that approach of playing, we know how fast the Oilers are, but the Vegas Golden Knights, they were back on their heels the entire game. Right back on their heels trying to defend against the speed and the pace of the Edmonton Oilers. You talk about taking the game to your opponent. Exactly what the Edmonton Oilers did. Well,
and you bring up the power play. I, like so many, are so impressed by their special teams because that power play was unstoppable in the regular season. They've somehow taken it to an even higher level in the playoffs. Now 14 of 24 for almost a 60% conversion rate. Frankie, when you're watching the power play, what sticks out to you?
There's so many things, but let's start with this, okay? So if you're the Vegas Golden Knights, you clear the puck down the ice. You think you've cleared off 20, 30, maybe 40 seconds if you can deny an entry, but that's the thing. You cannot deny the entry because the Edmonton Oilers, they get in and they get set up. And because they're able to keep that attack going and going, there's so many different ways they can beat you and wear you down. And where that really excels in the offensive zone is their puck touches. No one on that ice is giving you a bobbled puck, a bad puck, a dirty puck, as we like to call it. Every puck is clean. It's on your tape, it's off the wall, and it's in a position where you can do something with it. And that's what allows them to wear teams down and get second and third and fourth opportunities. It's one thing to win a puck race. It's one thing to retrieve a puck. But to set everyone up with clean looks, that's what allows the Edmonton Oilers to have so many great opportunities. And then, yes, you let your skilled players do the work, and you get the looks. You get the Draisaitl one-timers. You get the Bouchard shot from the point, and that's how you wear teams down on the power play.
And we got to give him some love, right? Because Evan Bouchard's such a big part of that first unit. He leads all defensemen in scoring this postseason. You played the position. When you watch Evan Bouchard, what sticks out in his greatness in this playoff run?
Well, first of all, I'm very jealous that he gets to play on that power play unit with those players. But other than that, like, he really excels at the offensive blue line, and he has so much confidence, so much poise. He's not afraid to make a play. And we talk about playing with good players, and everyone thinks it's so easy to go out there with good players. You want to play with good players? Guess what? You got to make plays, and that's what Evan Bouchard does. He does it at 5-on-5, as you see here, early in the game, setting the tone, getting up in the rush. But on the power play, he doesn't look to defer to his flanks. He wants to be a part of the action. He wants to be a player that shoots the puck. He's not a guy who's looking to stay on the fringes and say, listen, you guys take it because you got big names and you got all the points. Like, he is a factor in a big way on the power play, and he makes a lot of great decisions with the puck at the offensive blue line, and it really helps this team offensively.
I've watched Evan Bouchard play since he was 14 years of age, and you know, he's always had the great poise, the great IQ, the vision, the ability to thread the puck through skates and under sticks, and he still has that. And that poise sometimes early in his career got confused with casual. And what Evan Bouchard has learned is, listen, the strength of my game is with the puck. My strength of my game is my IQ and being really decisive. You just pointed it out, Frankie, on that opening shift. He went right after it and jumped into the attack. His blast that ends up being a goal, he goes right after it. So I think that what he's really become adept at is understanding the strength of my game is going to what's going to come to the forefront time and time again. He's not going to be a rugged, run-over-you type of player, but he has found a level of confidence in his own skill set that is really intimidating and really, really valuable. There was a time after they'd made the trade for Matthias Ekholm where they said, geez, why would you trade Tyson Barrie, you know, knowing how good the power play was? The answer to that is Evan Bouchard.
All right, well, that flight back home is going to be a lot more enjoyable after that performance, with the series shifting to Edmonton for the next two games, starting with Game 3 on Monday. Guys, thanks for this.